Hey guys, Glenn here. Today we're going over something very important that I should have done years ago, and it's coming right up. Now, whether if you own a 3D printing business like myself, making like 100 grand a year, or you're just doing it for a hobby, you're going to want to do this with your 3D printers, and it's really going to matter when it comes tax season and also for warranties. What I'm talking about today is numbering your 3D printers. Now, unfortunately, I never numbered my 3D printers before, which was silly. And whenever a warranty would come up, I would contact Prusa and I would say, well, is it in warranty? I wouldn't even know. So that's just one thing. We got to number the printers. Second, we got to do a chart. I'm going to show you how to organize your printers. So come tax season, you're going to be ready to write off these printers or depreciate them. And your CPA is going to love you, and you're going to love yourself by doing it now rather than just waiting and then struggling and not really knowing what you're doing. Now, little disclaimer, I'm not a CPA. I'm just some guy on YouTube, so contact your CPA for what exactly you should be doing. But this is what I do. This is not fun, but it is fun if you like money. So I happen to like money, and if you're watching this channel, you probably like money too. So as far as my tax guys kind of tell me, basically, you can depreciate them or you can write them off in full. For this year, I ended up depreciating all my printers because it ended up giving me a couple more thousands of dollars throughout the next 5 years. So basically, if you're going to depreciate them, you're going to depreciate them through years, which I believe is 5 years is the average, or you can write them off in full, but it all depends on your particular case and what you spent and how much money you make. And I run a lot of different companies, so my taxes are very confusing compared to most people's. Most people just have like a W-2 and maybe one company or something. But I have a bunch of companies, I have W-2s, I have corporations, I have S corporations, so it makes it very confusing, and that's why I need a CPA that knows what they're doing. But I'm depreciating these, so I'm going to write off basically a couple $1,000s and put that in my pocket over a couple years. Otherwise, I could have just took a couple thousand in write-offs right off the bat. You know, if it takes me a couple more years to make a couple more grand just from a write-off, then that's what I'm going to do. So I listen to my CPA, and we depreciate it. Now I got this handy-dandy little label maker from Amazon. It was really, really cheap. But it does the trick, and I'm going to label all the printers and tell you why I'm labeling all these printers as I label them. So just in case you guys don't know how to use this and you're going to order from Amazon, I'll put a link down below. You're going to press on. All right. Let's get rid of that with the back. And then basically I'm just going to do numbers. Number 1. Or you could do like, so you can see it better, 0, 1 maybe, like that. Oops. All right, so you can do like 0, 1, 0, 2. So I'm going to print these out and I'm going to put them on all the printers. So really easy. Let's just start with 0, 1, and then you're going to press print. Prints right here. You're going to clip it like this. Boom, and then boom. 0, 1. Now you can make them bigger, smaller, whatever. I'm going to keep them this size and I'm going to put it on the printer. Okay, so I happen to know that this is the first printer that I ever bought because, I mean, it's so old, it's got zip ties holding it down, that is actually the way they used to come, these Mark IIIs. So, I'm going to put this on here. You might also want to, I'm kind of past it, but I'll probably do this in the future for the new printers that I order. Maybe put like the number of the printer here, and then probably like the date that you received it, maybe for warranty purposes. You might want that, or any other information. But having a label maker and labeling these is going to help you a lot. Now, you can also do a Sharpie if you want, but this is a non-permanent solution. You could take it off and switch the number or switch the information on it, like put the number and the date that you received it or whatever you want. Also, you could do a maintenance schedule. You could say when you've maintained this printer last, for instance, or needs repair, or all kinds of things. You print the label out and you put it on, and now you know. Okay, so this is a Google spreadsheet. If you have Google Drive, this is provided to you for free. I recommend you use Google Drive. That's what I use for all of my documents, or a lot of my documents at least. So we're going to open this up. I'm going to go over how you should be organized your printers. Let's just call this printers. Okay. And then first thing, you're going to do number of printers. Okay. Or printer number, whatever. And we're going to, number them. however many you got. Let's see, you got 8, whatever. Then we're going to go price. Price is whatever you paid for it. I actually have, this was all the prices that I paid for a certain section of my printers. So I'm just going to copy and paste it in there. So, just fill this in, whatever, 910. Now, next we're going to say date received. Now for taxes, it might be date ordered. I'm not sure, but date received, it'd be close enough. As long as it's not like December 31st and you got to figure out which year it's for or whatever. But ask your CPA, they'll know. But this is what your CPA is going to require from you, a chart like this, if he's anything worth his salt or her salt. So date received, 1 to 2019, whatever, and you put all the dates in. So now you could look at this chart and say, okay, I paid this amount, and you could figure out what you're going to write off or what you're going to depreciate, and then you're going to know when you bought it. So you'll know that for the year 2023 or whatever it is, I can write off this printer or depreciate it. Then you'll also know if it's going to be under warranty, because Prusa has a 1-year warranty. So when you call up Prusa and you have a problem with that printer, you're going to be expecting to pay for parts or not pay for parts, and you'll know what that date is. So you could say, you could also do date received and date purchased to be a little bit more exact. That might help as well. But a chart like this is really going to help. Then we're going to go maintenance, okay? Did I spell that right? Yes, I spelled that right. So maintenance. We could just say, this one was last maintained 1 to, 2023, for instance. So you'll know that the last time that you oiled it was 1 to 2023. And then we could do repairs. And, the date, you could just say 1/20/23. Bearing replaced. Okay. So now you can remember that printer did have a replacement bearing or whatever it is. So replacement hot end, replacement whatever. So that's going to help you keep some record to it. So oh, this printer I did do this to, and that's why it's having this problem again, because I messed it up or they sent me the wrong part or whatever it is. All right. So with this chart, I highly recommend you do it. I know it's boring. I know, and you probably already clicked off this video, most of you guys, and I apologize. If you haven't clicked off this video, please hit the like button, because I'm just trying to help you, and I know some of this stuff, business is not always fun. This is sometimes, it just sucks, and it's a little boring, but if you don't do this, you're going to have problems. You have an easier time, especially when it comes tax time, let alone maintenance and warranties, and knowing what you're actually making with your business. You need to do stuff like this. I really appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe if you like content like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day.